ISPOs are a great way to earn tokens from exciting Cardano projects simply by delegating your ADA to specific stake pools. And I've been basically participating in ISPOs since they have first come around on Cardano, and I'll show you some tricks for how you can stay up to date in terms of the most recent and latest ISPOs on Cardano to take advantage of this huge opportunity that you have to earn tokens from different projects without actually having to buy them, without actually having to spend your hard-earned ADA. ISPOs are a unique thing to Cardano, and they are low risk and high reward in my opinion, so definitely you should spend some time learning about them and maybe even considering taking advantage of them. I've been on Cardano since 2020, and I was definitely excited when the first initial Stakepool offering was created at the time by Meld, I believe, if my memory doesn't fail me. And since that time, a lot of ISPOs have been done, a lot of different ISPOs have been around, and a lot has changed because right now it's not as easy to find an ISPO as it used to when it was a novelty. Before, we all knew of every ISPO, and right now that doesn't happen. They sometimes go under the radar, that's the reality. Especially now that we are in a bear market and people are not as excited about new projects. And in this video, however, I want to share some very useful tricks I've learned over the years to stay on top of the latest ISPOs on Cardano, especially because from time to time you have some pretty amazing opportunities, and to take advantage of them you need to pay attention because they can go under your radar very easily. However, you might be wondering, if this is the first time hearing about this topic, what exactly is an ISPO? ISPOs, also known as ISOs or SPOs, are initial stake pool offerings where you delegate your ADA to a specific pool, and in exchange for that, in exchange for a percentage of your ADA rewards from delegating your ADA, you'll get the project tokens without actually having to buy them. If you really want to understand more about SPOs and learn what they're all about, you can check the video here at the top. But yeah, focusing on the advantages, I think the big advantages are that you're getting tokens for new projects, new and exciting projects with a lot of growth potential without actually having to buy them. You don't need to sell your ADA. All you need to do is to delegate your stake and you'll earn those tokens. And on your side, you're just giving up all or a portion of your staking rewards to get those tokens. And I feel this is an extremely attractive and low risk opportunity because your ADA principal, the ADA you've accumulated, is still held by you safely under your control, and it's never at risk. This means that if the token you earn goes to zero, you still have your ADA and you just lose the rewards, which is a small part. However, if the project succeeds, not only do you have your ADA, but you get tokens extremely early at what is usually a very low cost, and you'll probably see some really significant appreciation of these tokens. What is important to note about ISPOs is that each ISPO can be very different from the other. They have unique conditions, and you actually need to spend some time evaluating them to make a decision. What doesn't have any conditions is our channel. We are out there trying to make a lot of good content for free, content about Cardano, but we would definitely love to have your like and to help us reach more people. But coming back to the ISPOs, I think when you're analyzing the conditions of each ISPO, there are 5 important things to consider. I'm talking about the rewards you give up, the rewards you get, the time period of the ISPO and the time period you need to remain delegated, any bonuses you might be able to access, and also, of course, the tokenomics of the token you're about to get. For the rewards you give up, you need to be aware that you can give up between 0% and 100%. 0% happens when the project just gets the operating fees from having a pool, and 100% is where the projects all actually get all your ADA staking rewards and reward you only with their token. Naturally, of course, the more rewards you usually give up for these projects, the more project tokens you get, and the other way around, of course. As for the rewards you get, naturally, you need to take a look at how much tokens you're expected to get from delegating. Of course, that will be related a lot of times with the amount of people that are delegating, the amount of tokens that the project is making available for the ISPO, and also other things such as any bonuses you might get, but we'll get onto that later. But knowing this is important for you to make sure that you feel that you're getting rewarded a fair amount of tokens, considering what the rewards you're actually giving up on, right? Picking up on that, that's why it is important for you to take a look at the tokenomics, to take a look at the total supply, to understand the percentage of the supply that the tokens that are going to be distributed in this ISPO represent. And also, of course, to understand the dynamics of the token and understand whether you feel comfortable with the utility of the token and you believe the token has potential and you believe that the growth of the project will reflect on the price of the token, something that doesn't always happen and that we need to pay a lot of attention to. Of course, taking a look at time period of the ISPO is also extremely important, because sometimes you can be requested to delegate for a long time, and you also need to bear in mind that usually the ISPOs themselves can be pretty limited in time, so you need to pay attention to when they are starting, when they are ending. That's super important for you to make sure you get as many rewards as possible. And as I mentioned, of course, you can have bonuses, and you can have bonuses for staking your tokens for longer, or even penalties from undelegating your stake a little bit too early. Of course, coming back to bonuses, there are other bonuses you can pay attention, bonuses related to things such as the quantity you're actually delegating to the ISPO, or for example, a bonus because you have a specific NFT in your wallet while you're delegating to this ISPO. But of course, the bonuses can be extremely different. These are just a few examples, so you need to take a look at the specific rules and bonuses for the specific ISPO you're thinking about participating in. However, overall, even though it is important to take a look at these conditions, I think one of the things that is crucial, that really matters a lot, is how much you believe in the project potential, in the team that is carrying these projects that are usually pretty early stage, and in the vision of the project. You know, these projects being early, they are extremely risky. There is a big chance the project won't go nowhere, that the tokens won't go nowhere. But of course, if you feel that the team is really great, that the project and the problem they are solving is important enough and has high potential, you might actually get a chance to be rewarded greatly for being so early and for supporting projects in an early stage. But now, for the big question, what are the best ways to stay on top of the latest and the best ISPOs, new ISPOs? And the reality is that you have several options you should consider. And to be honest with you, the best option is probably a combination of all these options at the same time. But of course, you can only focus on the things that work for you and choose a strategy that works for you. We all have things we prefer. We all have different time availabilities. So you can choose here from the solution something that fits within your own specific circumstances. So we'll start with the easiest option that might not be the most effective because it doesn't always have the latest ISPOs and you can get information with a little bit of a delay. That is to check ISPO focused websites. And that can be good for people who don't have that much time and don't mind being a little bit late to compensate. And we have here, of course, a few suggestions of websites. As you can see here, we have ISPO Online, where individuals can actually add the latest ISPOs, and you can easily find some of the ISPOs that are going on. However, I notice here that this website is a little bit outdated sometimes, and it does not have all the ISPOs going on. There are a lot of things that are not here. For example, Cornucopias now has a pool giving copy tokens in return for staking rewards, and that is not here. Another good website and more complete is the Maestro website, where you have the ISPO marketplace that you can see here. This one seems much more updated. It has many more ISPOs, and you can see them, get more information, and one-click delegate to these ISPOs. Although I don't recommend you to do that, I always recommend you to go learn more about the project before you do that. Here in Maestro, it's free to promote your ISPO, so a lot of projects do it. But of course, you can also get more relevance to an ISPO through their paid promotion in the website. But once again, I want to highlight the importance of doing your research, of searching the information, the specific information and conditions relative to the ISPO, so that you know what you're getting in and you can do an evaluation whether the ISPO is worth it or not. Another great tool, of course, is Twitter or X. Here is probably the best place to get updates before everyone else and to make sure you don't miss a single ISPO. However, of course, it can be a little bit hard to navigate through Twitter, as you do have a lot of information, and sometimes there can be a little bit of an information overload, I would say. For Twitter, the best way for me is the most time-consuming way is to actually follow Cardano-related accounts, from influencers to projects, and especially projects you like and that you believe that have potential. Then to make sure you turn on notifications to the people that are bringing relevant alpha. This way you'll get the latest updates on Cardano, updates related not only to ISPOs, but also to new projects. And whenever you find a new early stage project on Cardano that you believe has a high potential, definitely follow them, turn on the notifications, because in case they ever have an ISPO, you'll be one of the first ones to know, one of the first ones to participate. And usually the earlier you are, the better it is in terms of rewards and bonuses. Of course, this is not for everyone. It can be pretty time consuming, but it is the most effective way. If you start having a regular presence on Cardano and actually following Cardano Twitter accounts, that is probably the best way. However, you can also use Twitter to find out which ISPOs are currently live. They have here this pretty awesome feature that is usually pretty underused. That is the search feature. Here you can search for example, hashtag ISPO, and you can actually get a lot of information on the currently live ISPOs. You can see both the most relevant tweets on that topic, and you can find here a lot of different ISPOs and information about ISPOs that are going on. And from there, you can actually search more about the company, search more about the ISPO itself on Google, and you get all the information you need to make a decision before participating. This is just to warn you that this is happening. Of course, hashtag ISPO is just one example. You can search, and you should search, for many related terms, right? You should search for hashtag ISO, hashtag SPO. You should search for initial Stakepool offering, Stakepool offering only, and also for these terms, these longer terms like ISPO on Cardano, ISO on Cardano. Sometimes you'll need to put things related to Cardano while searching, so that it actually shows you just the things you care about and not information that has nothing to do with ISPOs. Of course, another way that has a bit of a more unpredictable outcome, and that can still warn you about many of the ISPOs going on, is to follow Cardano related YouTubers. You have some great ones such as Learn Cardano, Cardano with Paul, Dap Central, or Big Pay, to stay up to date with informations in terms of Cardano, in terms of the latest ISPOs, and of course other important Cardano related updates. Sometimes you learn a lot about new companies. We actually also try to bring you a lot of new companies, a lot of opportunities in Cardano. So definitely subscribe if you're interested into that. But yeah, as you've seen, this is the way to find constantly the new ISPOs. Right now, you have a few ISPOs going on, as you saw during this research, as you saw in the websites and on Twitter. And I think it might be worth for you to take a look at them, to do some research, because as I said before, these ISPOs are very low risk and a potentially high reward play, and definitely something that can add a lot of alpha and a lot of potential profits to your crypto strategy. So one that you should consider researching and doing your due diligence to make your own investment decisions, of course, because I don't provide financial advice, just education. But I would like to know, however, from you, if you believe you feel prepared after watching this video and that you have everything you need to find the best ISPOs. Please drop it in the comments. And also, if you think there is something missing, something important I didn't say about ISPOs, drop that in the comments too. And meanwhile, if you're not that interested in ISPOs, which is okay, it can be a little bit too much work, you might be interested in delegating your ADA to a good stake pool, a reliable stake pool that allows you to maximize your rewards, your ADA return, and to maximize the compounding effect in the long run and consequently increase your ADA principal significantly. Well, if you're interested in that, this video here is perfect for you, and I'll see you there.